I've given this a little title for myself, Demystifying the Northumbrian Pipes. I'm aware that there are people in this room who play very well on the Northumbrian Pipes, but there are quite a few people who don't. And I think if you're accustomed to the comparatively simple looking border pipes or small pipes, and you see a set of Northumbrian pipes, you think, how the hell does all that work? So I'm going to try and sort of unravel it with a few little musical examples as well. In approximately 27 minutes. So, what we've got here, I will talk in a little bit more detail, but basically what I have here is an instrument which actually has 5 drones there. In fact, the early instruments only had 3, and that's the easiest way to consider it compared to the pipes that most people in this room are more used to. And we have three drones, ignore those 2, which play in the same manner as Scottish small pipe drones. That is, there's a bass and a tenor and a baritone. And just because I prefer it, I've only got the bass and the baritone switched on. I'm going to play a part of a tune called Newmarket Races. And if you watch my fingers, you'll see that what I'm doing is in fact playing by lifting just one finger at a time from the chanter. And the chanter itself, it's much easier to see with this little keyless chanter than it is with the more complex one. The chanter itself is a simple parallel board chanter, and it has no hole in the bottom of it. And that means that when you put all your fingers down, you get a silence. And that's one of the main defining characteristics of the instrument, and it allows you to play in this sort of rather detached style, which is best heard in the playing of people like Chris Ormston and so on. I'm going to play a couple of part of a tune called Newmarket Races, and now I'm just going to do more after that. That was the complete tune. Actually, I just played it without repeat. Once I got stuck into it, I thought I might as well go through it. And one of the characteristics of Northumbrian music is the fact that very often you have a theme with variations, and competition playing at a high level involves playing a series of variations like that. That tune came from a book which was published in 1805, which is known as Peacock's Tunes. And we're very fortunate to have the book because it defines the classical music for the Northumbrian Pipes. And pretty much all of it sounds like that, either more complex or less complex, but that is the type of music that it is. And that tune to me, demonstrates the sort of beautiful simplicity of this music. I didn't use any of the keys. It's an 8-note tune, and it just flows really, really nicely, and it's just a pleasant piece of music. However, in the back of Peacock's Tunes, the book, in 1805, is what can only really be described as an advertisement. You sometimes find adverts in the back of tune books and so on, it's sort of defrayed costs, perhaps that was the case. There's a description of something called the new invented pipe chanter, and this chanter was produced by a pipe maker called Dunn, who lived in Newcastle a long time, and it has 4 extra keys on it to give you extra notes. So this fixes in time the period in which keys were being added to the chanter of the pipes. And by about 1811, 1812, the pipe chanter was available with 7 additional keys, and that now remains the basic chanter that is still in use now, nearly almost 200 years later. So I'll just explain a little about the keys and say what they do, and then I'll play another piece of music. Basically, what you have is a series of rocking keys, and if you're familiar with the Irish pipes, the Lowland pipes, they look like very small regulator keys. And in fact, the people who were developing these pipes, such as the Reeds on Tyneside, were also involved in making and developing the Lowland pipes at the same time, and it's the same technology. Basically, each extra key gives you 1 extra note. You don't overload the chanter, and you don't do any cross-fingerings or anything like that. So the more keys, the more notes. Well, it sounds really good, but there's a sort of biological limitation. If I cover the whole as I need to do, I've only got 2 digits left. So I've got the little finger there on my left hand, and I've got my thumb. Now, modern chanters, it's not uncommon to find a modern chanter having 17 keys, and there are chanters with 21 keys, and fairly hefty sort of things. You've still only got two digits available to play them with. In actual fact, this thumb has to be pretty active and pretty mobile to make use of the keys. Now, good pipe tunes allow for that fact, and the various arpeggios and runs and so on are composed in such a way to allow you to do it. The most difficult tunes to play on these pipes are fiddle tunes, which people think sound really nice. Let's play them on the pipes, and you discover that your thumb is moving around all over the place, 1 note after the next. So I'll just demonstrate how this actually works. What we have is an octave under my fingers, and then I can then go up 2 notes with that little finger, and then the thumb. So I can then use my thumb to go down over. If this is a scale in G, it isn't actually, it's a scale in F. We always talk about it as though it's in G. I can go down over, I can play an F sharp, which is that key there. With my thumb, I can play an E with my little finger, and then I can play a D with my thumb again. And there's a couple of other keys on this channel that we won't sort of worry about that at the moment. So I can go, and then down. So that's the sort of normal range of the instrument. And I've got also a couple of accidentals in the middle, one of which are almost useless, it's an E flat. And
oh no, Rosslyn Castle.
Yes, Rosslyn Castle, yes, Rosslyn Castle, that's true. But in actual fact, there are literally just a couple of tunes in the common repertoire which use an E flat key. I also have, under my thumb, this thumb works pretty hard, I also have a C sharp, which allows me to play a scale in D. So I can go like this. Because I have the capacity to play now different musical keys, the other thing that sets this instrument apart from Scottish mockpipes and so on is the complexity of the drones and the ability to retune the drones to support the key signature that you're playing in. I'm going to play another couple of tunes now, making use of the keyed notes. And I'm also going to put an extra drone in. We were just looking at what Pete's slide there with the